What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today we'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy B with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So today was just a half day because it's a U.S. holiday tomorrow, Independence Day. Friday, July 4th, so the market was closed at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of the normal 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's why, we didn't probably see a good close today. Price basically just came back to yesterday's close and slightly above it. So it was at once upon a time at 414.60. But it looks like there was some selling pressure. People did not want to hold on into the extended weekend. Let's go over the technicals. Before I do that, a couple of news items I want to cover. I do have a podcast scheduled with Jor from 88 Sats Radio. I had Jor on once before a while ago. I think maybe twice actually. So I'm having another podcast with him this Monday. I'm going to go over, his experience at the Bitcoin conference out there in Vegas, some other Bitcoin related news, probably cover MicroStrategy as well, Bitcoin treasury companies. So I'll probably have that out on most likely Monday. Another thing is, you guys want to see my portfolio. It's nothing special, really. I only own 3 things, and one of them is basically just garbage at this point. It's SPCE. So that's Virgin Galactic. So I had just like $500-600 in there just as my 1%er. That would, I would think it would be, go up a lot more than I put in, but it did not. I lost like 98% of the value on that one. So I'm just holding on to the shares. There's no point in selling it. But besides that small little loss, I do own MicroStrategy, and my average on that is 330. I bought a lot in 200. I bought a lot at 300. Bought a lot at 400. So it averages out to about 330 per share. I'm up about 22% on that position as right now. Bitcoin have about 10 to 1 Bitcoin to MicroStrategy. So every $100 of MicroStrategy, I own 1,000 of Bitcoins. If you keep on going up as well, every 1,000 of MicroStrategy is 10,000 of Bitcoin. So there's only 3 things I own: Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, and SPCE. But that doesn't even probably count at this point. So my average for Bitcoin, I think it's about 55,000, if I'm mistaken. So I'm already double on that one. MicroStrategy is also in the positive territory as well. No point of going over exact values or amounts. It doesn't really help you guys. Everyone's different. Everyone has more or less. But I just want to go over it. Yes, I do have MicroStrategy, pretty sizable position. Most people's retirement accounts, if it goes up to my target, I believe it can, which would be most people's retirement account size. So you could just assume that. And then you could say that, yeah, about 330 on average per share, and right now in the positive. It would have been lower, but I wanted to get a lot more Bitcoin first because I believe that's what I recommend to my friends and people who I know. Bitcoin is more important because that is, to me, the end goal. My MicroStrategy shares, I'm not going to hold it forever, even though I do believe most likely it will be the most valuable company in the world. I want to just sell it, buy Bitcoin, and put it into cold storage, and then that's it, right? That's the end goal for me. So I only believe in Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Other Bitcoin treasury companies are good as well, but these are the 2 that I use. This is the 3-month return for MSTR. You can already see that if you just hold Bitcoin, which is just money, real money at the end of the day, you're going to get a 32% return, in the past 3 months if you had it. In 1 year, you could have got 82%. So what is giving you an 82% return? Not Amazon, not SPY, not QQQ, not even Tesla. So I don't want to own these other companies or even Apple, Google. And if you go even crazier, just, since they started the Bitcoin standard in 2020, I think it was like August or spring or summer of 2020, strategy is outperforming everything, and even Bitcoin. So that's why I own just Bitcoin and strategy, not even NVIDIA. I like the business model MicroStrategy has. All they're doing is acquiring, real money. And as that money continues to gain purchasing power over time, their company becomes more valuable. They become stronger. And it's just easier, to dominate the field. So I don't think, if the return is not higher than Bitcoin, then I would not be interested in owning it. That's the hurdle rate. So I own a lot of Bitcoin, I own a good amount of MicroStrategy, and that's the only two I'm focusing on as of right now. Everything else is just noise. Nvidia possibly is already at all-time high, so you can already see is it really going to really double? I can take a look at Nvidia real quick right now. If we take a look at Nvidia, it's at its all-time highs, and it's at a 3.89 trillion dollar market cap. So I mean, is this going to double? That will take it to almost an $8 trillion market cap. I think MicroStrategy has a better chance than doubling, in my opinion. So I don't see the potential, in this type of company. I feel like buying MicroStrategy right now is buying like Apple, Amazon, 10, 20 years ago, something like that. So that's why I only own MicroStrategy. I only own a lot of in Bitcoin and about a 10-to-1 ratio for right now, because I believe the end goal is Bitcoin in cold storage, and that's it. Your money will continue to give you more purchasing power over time. So let's take a look at the technicals, and we'll finish the video off. So overall, slight gain today, basically neutral, not a big deal at all. Price looks to be starting to get away from this trend line right here. This is the downward sloping trend line. This is not really a decisive break of it yet. So I want to see a decisive break of it. Overall, there is this bullish trend line in play as well, confirmed on the bottom. It looks like it is in play as well on the top. And if we do see price move up higher, like we have seen before in history, then we could see probably a move up towards 554, 555, sometime maybe by the end of this month, early July. So that's at the top of the channel as well. When price hits one side of a channel, it usually works its way to the top. So I think new all-time high is very possible towards the end of this month, early next month. Again, is that guaranteed? No. We need to see a decisive break of this trend line. As right now, we're not really seeing that. We're definitely seeing a break of it, but not really a strong push out of it. So it could still fail and price comes back down, back in that range pattern that I had as well before too. So this range pattern kind of acts as a magnet. So we'll see what happens. But overall, this is a good sign, better than you know what we have been seeing before, and we just need to see more of it. So MSTR, hold it in there. Looks like it's trying to move up higher. It kind of does these things too, where you see like two steps forward, one step back. Same thing would happen in this impulse right here. There was a lot of red days. There was a red day right here, red day right here, red day right here, red day right here. So price was moving down a little bit lower and then moving up much higher. So it likes to do these, two steps forward, one step back, two step forward, one step back. It kind of does this instead of, green bars after green bars, that type of situation. So overall, I think it still looks pretty good for higher prices. So everything I want to cover on the daily chart, we'll just skip over to the monthly chart. Weekly chart, it hasn't changed. And this week is closed pretty bullish. Just quick look at it. So look at the candle, nice green candle. Not that strong, but not that weak. It looks pretty good. It looks like it's trying to be taken out this prior high shortly at the 420s, 430s. So once we see a break of that, I think it's an easy move up towards the mid 500s and then much higher from there. Monthly chart, looking for $4,000. It's not, fundamentally impossible. It's only a $1 trillion market cap. And if Bitcoin triples, then I think this stock can easily do more than what Bitcoin can do. So if this Bitcoin triples, I'm expecting this to at least 6-7x. That would take it to 600 billion, 700 billion. Yes, that's not 4,000, but you also need to understand that trends sometimes can get emotional. Sometimes the market can get more emotional. It might overshoot that amount instead of just being a perfect ratio of double or like a 2-to-1. It might get to a 3-to-1 ratio of Bitcoin 3 times, 3x's. MicroStrategy might 9x. So it might get that emotional. So overall, this trend can have a blow off top. It'd be right around that $4,000 target. Either way, I'm still holding on to my shares. I don't care if it has been topped or not. I don't think it has. It doesn't look like it. This is not this does not look like a top signal to me. It looks like a trend continuation. Look how nicely we're staying above the EMA and how nicely it's moving. Very nice, very beautiful, very smooth, very structured, still above the trend line. The trend has not shown any signs of exhaustion yet. We're ready for another move up higher, and this thing can easily accelerate higher towards the $4,000 target or the top side of this range or channel. So all I have for MSTR on the daily weekly charts. If you guys have any more questions, please leave in the comments down below. I'll probably see you guys on Monday. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.